What is up, Daddy Gang? It is your founding father, Alex Cooper, with Call Her Daddy.
Daddy Gang, welcome back to another episode of Call Her Daddy. Today, I am joined by none other than the producer of Call Her Daddy, my best friend, Lauren McMullen.
Wow.
For anyone that didn't watch my documentary on Hulu, Call Her Alex, one of the reveals in the documentary is that Lauren has been the producer of Call Her Daddy and has been working with me for over 4 years. And a lot of you, actually most all of you, were shocked. I have never talked about this publicly. We have kept this a secret and we've kept it private. And today we are here to get into why we decided to keep it private, why we never shared it with the world, the reasoning behind it, and also what it's actually like to work with your best friend and the process of Call Her Daddy. We are going to walk you guys through what we do every single week in working together. So I think we should just get into it. Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Shopify. I think my favorite part about growing unwell has been hearing from the Daddy Gang about what you guys want more of, whether it's a new hydration flavor, you want to have an event, or just creating sweats for us to all be cozy in and lay and lounge and watch more Call Her Daddy episodes. So much of what I do business-wise is influenced by all of you. Sometimes starting a new business idea, though, it's not just about starting with a product, but it's really about finding what product your community needs first. And when it comes time to launch, turn to Shopify, the commerce platform trusted by millions of businesses. You can literally set up an entire online store in a day. Like right now, Daddy Gang, you could be setting yours up. Everything is conveniently managed in one platform, and you can tag and sell all of your products globally and across all major social media sites right from your phone. There's also Shopify Magic and AI tools like an AI assistant that helps with reports, editing images, and content ideas. Trust me, the content that you launch alongside your product could be a huge game changer for sales. I also love using Shopify to track sales and data and see what products our community wants more of. And not only can I sell online, but Shopify helps with sales at in-person Unwell events and pop-ups too, making it way easier to see what products you're all loving. So, Daddy Gang, it is time to build your brand. Head to shopify.com/daddy to see how easy it is to start your business today. That's shopify.com/daddy. Let's tell them how this came to be. So I think we have to go all the way back to 2020 and the pandemic. And first, again, I think everyone knows this is at this point, but Lauren and I have been childhood best friends since we were about 6 years old.
Yeah, second grade.
Second grade. So 6 years old, Lauren and I have been best friends. And we have grown up together. We played soccer together. We made movies together. We didn't go to the same high school or college, but we've been best friends our whole lives. And in 2020, when I was producing and editing and hosting Call Her Daddy on my own, it was the pandemic and I was by myself living in New York. And it was a pretty dark time. I think I was really struggling. There was a lot going on online, obviously, with Call Her Daddy. And I was pretty isolated in New York City at the time. And Lauren happened to be going through a breakup at this time. And Lauren was trying to figure out her next move. Am I going to have to move home? What am I going to do? And I remember saying, Lauren, just move into my apartment with me. Like, this will be beautiful. Let's live together again, because we had lived with each other at one point. And so you moved in. And at this point, explain to the Daddy Gang what you're doing. Like, I'm hosting this raunchy sex podcast and you are doing what?
So I had just finished Teach for America. So my undergrad degree is in neuroscience. I never intended to be a teacher. I did 2 years of Teach for America, where I taught 5th and 8th grade science in Newark, New Jersey. I did my 2 years, and then I was in grad school at Columbia getting a master's in clinical psychology because I wanted to go on and get a PhD and be a therapist. So when I moved in with you fresh off my breakup, I was in my first year of my master's program, and I was nannying for a crazy family on the side to make money.
So then Lauren and I moved to Los Angeles. We decided we were done with New York for a little bit. We wanted to try something different. Lauren wanted to get away. I wanted to get away. I knew it would be better for Call Her Daddy. I would get so many more guests in Los Angeles. So we got on a plane and we headed to LA and we moved into this home together.
And then the school I was teaching at had reached out and was like, our neuroscience teacher quit. We can't find anyone who can teach neuroscience. We'll let you teach entirely remote. Can you teach neuroscience to these high schoolers? And I'm living in California teaching children in New Jersey. So my first class was every day at 5 a.m. And then I'd be done work at 1 p.m. So you'd be waking up to like go record Call Her Daddy at 1 p.m. and I'd be finishing work for the day. We knew no one in LA. I didn't have a car. It was COVID. It was locked down. There was nothing to do. So I'd be like done work. Like, hey, Alex, like, what are you doing for Call Her Daddy? Like,
yes,
I'll help. I'll watch you. Like,
I think this is when we really started to feel like, oh my God, I missed this part of our friendship. Lauren and I, as you guys will watch in the documentary, as you watched, we fell in love with two things at a very young age: soccer and making movies and music videos. And that was our genuine passion. And so you getting to come back into that world, I think, was so exciting for both of us, because it also kind of rebirthed a part of our relationship that we had lost in a way. And so we both just leaned in and we started having so much fun. And so when I signed my deal with Spotify, that was 6 months into us living in the house, I would say. And that obviously changed my life forever. And it changed, I felt like, everyone's lives around me, just because it definitely put me publicly in a different stratosphere. Like I felt like there was more attention on me. There was a bigger conversation around money. Again, I think people don't really know this, but like I didn't have a team. Like I was still editing my own episodes.
it was fully just you at that point.
Yes. Like there was no writers in these interviews. Like I was writing all of my interviews. I was editing all of these things. I was like, I'm now making enough money where it's dumb. How am I not paying people to help me? And that, I think, was the beginning of the start of it all. Do you remember like the first real conversation post Spotify?
So we sat down and you were like, I want to have something more consistent, something more formal. What are you interested in? What are your next moves? Because at that point I had graduated from my master's program. And I wanted to go get a PhD, but I decided I wanted to take one more year before applying so I could do more research and get my name published on more papers.
Oh, right.
So I was like, wait, this kind of works out really well. You want to go into your first year of Spotify, having people around you that you trust, feeling comfortable, not starting just like building a whole team from like scratch and not knowing anyone. So I'm like, this is perfect. I'll take my gap year with Call Her Daddy.
Why did I forget? That's how it started. Yes, you were like, for sure in your head, you were going to go to grad school. And there was going to be 1 year that you were going to work with me.
I was going to get a freelance rate.
Yep.
And bill you for like my hours weekly at a freelance rate. And then on the side, I'd also be doing my psychology research and trying to get published in more academic research.
To give everyone more context, this moment of me being like, okay, I'm going to hire you for a year, it really was us being like, let's just do this for one more year together. It'll be so fun.
And it was kind of the perfect setup for both. It made you feel more comfortable going into your first year of Spotify. And it gave me consistent paid work while I tried to just write and apply to grad school.
But in no way did we think this was long term.
But now that I was going to be like billing you hourly and like tracking my hours and like having deliverables to meet and like actual deadlines to hit, it did start to become more real at that point.
Yes.
Where at this point now you are my boss and there is a differential between the two of us. It feels a little bit different than like me just sitting in the corner, giving you thumbs up, laughing and saying like, oh, tell that funny story, tell that joke.
Yes.
Like now I'm like researching the guests you're having on. I'm pitching topics I think you should talk about.
Yes.
Like I'm spending real time doing like actual real work and it's feeling more real. And at that point, we kind of had to have a conversation of like, okay, if we're going to do this 1 year and do it right and not leave feeling resentful that you felt I took advantage of the situation and was just using you for money, or that I felt I didn't have clear expectations and I'm not really set up for success. Like we have to treat this more real.
Yes.
And that's when we had the really hard conversation of I think I need to leave LA. I needed more things of my own.
Yes.
I was living in your house.
Yep.
I was relying on you and Matt for plans. I was working for you.
Yes.
And like
we needed to shake it up.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful to see you go to Chicago and still to this day be fucking thriving. Like that was without a doubt the best decision I think you could have ever made for yourself, picking that city. I feel like you have had such incredible success there. You've had such a support system. Like it's been beautiful. So I'm just so happy that it actually ended up working out.
Yeah, I think that's like the best thing we ever could have done. And I remember we podcasted together being like, I'm moving to Chicago.
Oh my God.
And we told the daddy gang, we're like, I'm moving to Chicago for a job opportunity. The job opportunity was Call Her Daddy. And I was moving to Chicago so that we could give it a real chance and we didn't fuck shit up
and
by
we we're professional.
being up each other's like assholes 24/7.
Oh my God, I forgot that we publicly said that. I'm sorry, you guys. That's like a little white lie we told. Sorry. But so then so now let's explain in that moment, why did we not tell the truth about why you were going to Chicago for a job?
Because at that point, we truly thought it was going to be a 1-year thing. Like imagine, in my mind, we're really conceptualizing this as like, this is my gap year before I'm going to get a PhD.
Yep.
And we thought it would just be really confusing to people if we're like, we work together and now we don't. And like knowing the way that the internet spins things, I think people would immediately be like, oh, they're not working together anymore because shit
Alex
went down.
is not a girl's girl and she ruined Lauren's
Yeah,
life.
look, Alex did it again, kicked Lauren to the curb.
No, literally. So yes,
Yeah,
facts.
that's what people would say.
So it was very easy. We were like, okay, great. We'll keep this under wraps and love you and come visit all the time. Lauren moves to Chicago. I'm in LA. And the minute she leaves, we just hit the fucking ground running.
I think the next big moment was
The year mark. We were coming up on the year mark and I'm sitting in LA being like, there was a part of me that felt in my gut, holy shit, I have never had more fun in my life working with someone. And I have never felt at such ease. And we just have the best dynamic. And I think I selfishly was like, oh my God, I actually can see it. I can see how this could work long term. But if I put my selfish wants aside and I also put my work aside, if I put on my best friend hat as Alex from Young Alex and you being my best friend, I was like, but what does Lauren want? Because I am living my dream. I am living everything I could have ever wanted. I love my job so much, but does Lauren feel that same way? And is Lauren gonna want to do this full term? And I started to get worried that, I'll be honest, I remember when I look back, I was worried that you understandably, because we've talked about this on the podcast before, like you were enjoying understandably the work, but the money I think was so much security for you. I think you were starting to be like, fuck, it's so nice to like comfortably afford my apartment and get to do all these things. And so I started
because money was a huge stress in my life growing up.
Yes. And I think I started to worry as your friend, like, fuck, is she feeling this, which is nice, but is she forgetting how much she wanted to go and get this PhD? And is she going to choose this life because of the money, not because she genuinely wants it? And I started to feel a little bit of guilt where I was like, am I pulling Lauren away from her dream? Because I'm living mine.
And you said that to me. We had like a really real and honest conversation at like that year mark.
Yeah.
And you were like, at this point, I really can't imagine doing this without you, because you were trying other people. Like we were kind of planning for my departure. So like you were trying other people, you were interviewing other people, you were having other people come and freelance with you. And
it just wasn't the same.
Because I know you so well. So like I have this insanely unfair advantage. And like I can look at something immediately and be like, Alex would never say that. Alex doesn't agree with that. Oh my gosh, Alex would hate that. Would hate that.
Yeah, you just can't teach that because it's just, you've been my sister my whole life. Like, so it's like, so finally we had a really honest conversation where I voiced all this to Lauren. And I remember just going back and forth being like, as selfish as I want to be, that I want you to know I value you more than you know. And I would love you to do this literally until the end of time with me. I need you to be honest with yourself and take time to really think, what do you want?
Yeah, you were like, I could never live with myself if we look back in 5 years and I feel like I tore you away from your dream.
Yeah.
So I went and I talked to my therapist about it for a while.
Yeah, a while.
We were kind of talking about, why did I want to be a therapist? I wanted to be a therapist because, which you'll see in the documentary, my dad passed away from suicide when I was in college. He suffered from bipolar disorder for my whole life. And so that's what drew me to that.